Welcome to the Weekly Mac. In today's episode, we'll be having a chat with Jaume Ripoll, co-founder and head of content and development of the streaming video provider Filmin. Humberto González has hit the streets to discover the latest Catalan summer fashions. Do you believe everything you hear? Wait until Anna-Priscila Magriñà is back with the ultimate quiz about urban legends. This is the Weekly Mac, your TV show in English, hosted by Marcela Topor.
Hello and how are you doing? We are back to entertain you and give your English a boost with some reports, fun facts, recommendations and much more. And we are starting today's show with an interview with a Catalan entrepreneur who is very much involved with television, the internet and feature films. Founded in 2007 and based in Barcelona, Filmin is a streaming platform of independent and classic films and series. It was the first film and series provider to set a flat subscription rate in Spain, something it did 10 years ago. And one of these cinema lovers is Jaume Ripoll, co-founder and chief editor and head of acquisitions at Filmin. Well, Jaume Ripoll, thank you for coming. Welcome to the Weekly Mag.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
And first of all, congratulations. You are celebrating the 10th anniversary of the first subscription. That's great, but first of all, did you have time to celebrate in any way at all?
Last Zoom we did with our team. We raised our glass of cava, say, okay, happy anniversary, but it was in front of the screen. And we will wait till October, probably October, November, to throw a proper party.
Online these days,
yeah,
everything is online. Okay, well, filming, as we know, it's created by professionals from the cinema industry, and you have a catalogue of 15,000 titles, which is not bad, of independent, high-quality cinema. So tell us, what criteria do you guys apply to choose the films, the titles you broadcast?
I would say that the films we like, or the films we love, in fact,
okay.
and the films that we think audience will love. So, because it's not always the same. Because sometimes I hate one series, but I think, okay, this series will perform quite well in the platform. Therefore, I try to secure the rights, and afterwards, usually audience love this kind of content.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the rights. This is one of my questions. How do you manage to acquire the rights for the films you broadcast?
It's quite difficult, and it's
because 95% are exclusive titles.
Yes, in fact, it's 95 because they are only available at Filmin. Probably not 95% are signed on exclusive basis, but they are non-exclusive, but they are only available at our platform in Spain and Portugal. It's a tough job. We've been in the market, in the business since 20 years ago. So we pretty much know everybody in the industry, in the film industry, sales agents, distributors and producers. And it's easy for us to get access to those kind of content. And they know that Filmin somehow will support and will do our best to promote this kind of independent art house films and series. And it's important for them to reach a wide audience. Because European cinema is facing troubles regarding how to bring a younger audience to that content.
There is a fierce competition among platforms. We're talking of giants such as Netflix, HBO, then you've got a lot, Amazon Prime, Disney, etc. So you're competing with all these platforms. Do you feel that your niche is becoming more narrow because of so much competition and so much offer?
No, it's bigger. It's getting bigger because when Netflix arrived in Spain like 4 or 5 years ago, the market was so small, and nowadays it's like 1 million people paying for a subscription in Spain. They are used to pay a subscription, not to one platform, but to different platforms like Netflix and Filmin and HBO, and so on. And since then, we have fivefold the number of subscribers. There's always a fear regarding how it will affect us. Those platforms, they have like billionaires budgets, but I'm quite optimistic nowadays facing the future.
Okay. Well, you deal a lot with the independent films. How do you manage to do that as well as running a profitable business?
There's a lot of independent films don't mean that they are unsuccessful films. For instance, Parasites, the film that won the Academy Award winner, is an independent film. La Grande Bellezza, Ida, Searching for Sugar Man. So those are independent films that has been a huge success.
Exactly.
Intouchable.
It won a lot of awards
and money.
Become very popular.
And it's important. They become quite popular. No? So we prefer to focus, to put our efforts in those kind of content instead of trying to secure the rights of Harry Potter, The Avengers, and so on, because probably those films will be also at Netflix, HBO, or Disney. Mm-hmm. So it's important to build on this exclusive content and the brand. And how it means the branding for us. Branding means that people know what to expect of filming, no? What to expect of filming. Filming has its specific content: documentaries, feature films, and European TV series.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you mentioned European TV series as well as films. That's a big plus for you. Sometimes it looks like they are more difficult, no, to be successful, either because maybe they are not so commercial or maybe because of distribution. What percentage of European films do you have on your catalog?
Now, last month was 65% European productions or co-productions from United Europe. So yeah, 65% series and films. And our catalog, the structure of our catalog is 60% films, 40% series in terms of quantity. But yeah, it's we've been supported. We have the help from the European Union through the creative media content, and it's important for us to support and to European films and series.
Of course. Let's talk about a festival you created, Atlantida Film Festival, which is the first Spanish online film festival. You created it in 2011. Tell us more about it.
10 years ago. It's like this year will be the 10th anniversary of the festival.
Something else to celebrate, right?
Yes, in Mallorca, because and in fact it will be the first physical festival in Spain since COVID-19. Yeah, Atlantida is a mix. It's a quite unique festival. It's online plus open air screenings in Mallorca during summer. It takes place from the last week of July till last week of August, so it's perfect time for watching films on an open air venues. Exactly. It's focused on European content. Last year we had like 100 titles, 50% of them directed by women, 50% of them first works. And the festival was awarded as the most innovative film festival in Europe because of this, because those films haven't been released in cinema, so they aren't seen in Spain. And during the last 10 years, we had the Spanish premieres of Xavier Dolan, Jonathan Demme, Michel Gondry, Jonas Trueba, so big names that arrived before at filming prior to the theatrical release.
Mm-hmm. Looks good.
You're invited to come to Mallorca from July 27, because we have concerts as well, because it's concerts and screenings. It's perfect.
I'm a big fan of filming and of Atlantida, of all your projects too, and that's true. It's not just saying for saying. Right, let's go back to filming, which you founded in 2007. That was an adventure you started with Juan Carlos Tous and Jose Antonio de Luna. What was the situation in the audiovisual field back then, and what has changed for you?
The world back then.
A lot.
So it's
a
like
lot has changed.
facing the Great Recession, the Great Depression. So it's like 2008, economical crisis, rampant piracy in Spain. We didn't know about how to build a VOD platform, because
it was all new, right?
Yeah. Netflix was still sending DVDs by mail in the States, so we were the first ones, and to be a pioneer, it takes a cost, and it took like 2.5 years to launch like the official Filmin 2010. It was the first, as you said, the first subscription VOD platform in Europe. So once again, the pioneer. And since then, the market has evolved a lot. I remember that the first time we had meetings with producers from Catalonia when we say, okay, we will launch a VOD platform. Say, what? What's a VOD platform? And internet? No, internet is not an ally, it's the enemy. So
Yes.
we don't want our films to be online. I say, come on, guys, your films are already online on a sites like BitTorrent and so on. So you need to build something special, quite something unique. And trust us, will help you to, once again, to reach this audience and to make this audience pay for content on the internet.
And that was quite visionary, as we said before. Well, we are certainly going through some big changes in the way we communicate. Before we continue our interview, it's time for a language tip. Do you know what the expression "a spanner in the works" means? Well, please listen carefully to our teacher Jaume Ripoll from International House Barcelona.
Hi. Have you ever heard of the phrase, a spanner in the works? As you know, a spanner is a metal tool that we use for tightening and loosening bolts. But the phrase, a spanner in the works, has got nothing to do with mechanics. It actually means that there's an obstacle in your plan. For example, if I was having a party and I had invited all my friends for the weekend, and my uncle suddenly says he's coming to visit, that's a spanner in the works. So, the next time you have plans, I hope no one throws a spanner in your works. Till next time.
Let's continue talking about culture and film with the co-founder and content director of Filmin, Jaume Ripoll. Jaume, I'd like to ask you about producing. We know that other big platforms have already produced their own films and TV series. What about filming?
It's funny because we were the first VOD platform in Spain to produce the content, to co-produce the content. It was Barcelona Winter Night, the second feature by Dani de la Orden.
Which was a great success.
Yeah, it was
lovely.
nominated to the 7 Gaudí Awards. And in fact, since then, we have co-produced, I would say that 10 films, 5 feature films, 5 documentaries. Among them, Dark Eyes, which was a film made by the Pompeu Fabra University.
Yes.
It took the main award at the Malaga Film Festival last year. And in this year, we'll release our new title, new film, a new documentary, wonderful documentary. It's called Sempre Dijous, and it's been directed by Joan Porcel, which is a director from Mallorca.
You participate in many film festivals, which we know are a meeting point between for professionals and for film buffs as well. How do you see the future of these events, if we take into account all the safety measures for COVID-19?
I was at the Berlinale 4 months and a half ago, so it was end of February, and people were like laughing regarding the COVID and the crisis.
Nobody actually took it seriously,
and
right?
say, okay, see you in Cannes, and blah blah blah. 4 months later, everything has changed, and I think nowadays nobody knows what will happen. And in fact, I've just bought the tickets for the Venice Film Festival because I will take part in a round table discussing the future of VOD cinema. But we don't know if Venice will take place or not in a physical way. Let's see what will happen in the upcoming 6 months. If there's more. The new normality becomes similar to the old normality, something like this.
Right. Also, the recent lockdown has certainly increased a lot the audiovisual people consumed at home, right? So I guess this was also the case, I'm sure, with filming, no? Do you think this will change or has changed the way we use TV?
Regarding how people watch movies, I think since Netflix arrival, everything changed. So probably during the last, in March and April, a lot of people discover new platforms like Filmin, for instance, and they say, okay, we will maybe pay another subscription because we are now somehow fed up of the Netflix catalog and we need some different unique movies and series. But it's not, we have increased the number of views, but not as much as the number of subscribers.
Right.
So, last year, I've been in these discussions regarding the future of cinema and the future of the online business.
Filmin is conditioning cinema public. I mean, are you competitors to cinema?
No, we're not allies, not competitors. Last year, cinemas made the most successful year in the last 30 years in terms of admissions worldwide. And last year, Filmin, HBO, Apple, and Netflix were there, no? So yeah, we are allies, not competitors.
Okay, well, Jaume Ripoll, thank you so much for coming today. We certainly learned a lot about filming, about video on demand. Thanks again, and good luck with everything.
Thank you, and see you in Mallorca for the festival.
Hopefully, I hope so. Well, talking of stories, do you prefer good old English classics such as Frankenstein, for example, or would you rather read a daring modern take on it? Fortunately for us, today we have a double book recommendation from Salvador Faura and Neida Horta from the xarxa de Biblioteques Municipals of Diputació de Barcelona.
Mary Wollstonecraft, who got married to Percy Shelley and is therefore very often referred to as Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley, wrote Frankenstein. When she did that, she had no idea of how famous her book was to be. Many people have read different versions of Frankenstein and they always think of the monster. The original does not think of the monster, but of Victor Frankenstein, who created it. Actually, the book is a debate on genetic engineering. Can you create a living creature and act as if you were God? That is the debate. Read Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley's Frankenstein and then tell me all about it when you finish.
This novel was published in 2019 and longlisted for the Booker Prize. At the beginning, we meet Mary Shelley at the point when she was imagining her creation, the novel Frankenstein and its monster. Afterwards, we move 200 years and we meet another Shelley, a doctor. Even though those times seem to be apart, they have many common points. This novel is a sort of revisitation of the classical Gothic novel Frankenstein to bring us a new point of view, a contemporary point of view. If you decide to read it, be open-minded, because both its style and its topics are transgressive and critical with modern society.
Most Hollywood movies have one or two popular actors in them, but not that many films bring together an impressive ensemble of major Hollywood stars. And the film we're going to recommend does exactly that, and you can watch it online at ebiblio.cat. Check out Home Movies with Miquel López from Televisió de Badalona.
Tennessee Williams meets Greek tragedy in this tragic comedy written by an actor, Tracy Letts. August, Osage County, is the story of what happens to a dysfunctional family when their patriarch, an alcoholic poet, dies. It is obvious that the original theater play was written by an actor because all the characters are a real feast for their players, starting with two great ladies of the screen, Meryl Streep and Julia Roberts, a mother and a daughter, who are excellent in their roles. And there is also a magnificent cast, an ensemble cast, that includes Chris Cooper, Ewan McGregor, Benedict Cumberbatch or Juliette Lewis, who are excellent and who also merit praise for their performances. So if you like drama, emotions and family arguments, please, you have to see August, Osage County. This is your movie.
There is a false myth in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Anna-Priscila Magriñà, the best myth debunker on the Weekly Mac.
Welcome back. This season we've been looking at social networks from many different points of view, and now it's time we got a taste of the best and funniest posts from the most followed people on Instagram and Twitter. This is Under the Influence with Joan Carme from Lleida Televisió.
I'll give you 3 seconds to guess which is the most followed profile on Instagram. 1, 2, 3. Time's up. It's Instagram. No, I'm not crazy. The social network's official account has 353 million followers. There you can find some of the most interesting and sometimes most bizarre content, such as a video of Miley Cyrus dedicating a motivational song to the college graduate of 2020. Or this beautiful scene starring Donatella and Serena, 2 golden retrievers who already have 73,000 fans. Our silver medal goes to Cristiano Ronaldo. The Portuguese footballer has 224 million followers. He posts professional pictures about playing football as well as some personal moments like this one, where he's having some fun with his son.
Thanks, mate.
Live from LA, where it never rains.
Singer Ariana Grande gets the bronze medal. She basically uses Instagram to promote her music, but she also makes fun of herself. After releasing Rain on Me with Lady Gaga, she turned herself into a TV reporter under the rain. She took the song title very seriously. On Twitter, Justin Bieber is the most followed artist, although the funniest one seems to be Katy Perry.
Oh, hey! It's Katy Perry here, reminding you that there's
With over 100 million followers, she's having a lot of fun cleaning up Twitter. I guess we should thank Katy Perry for keeping Twitter safe and clean.
And now it's almost time to play around with language and learn a few things with words and facts. But before we round up our usual suspects, we just have time for another useful language tip with J.G. McFolds.
Hi, have you ever heard of the word haywire? Chances are you'll have heard of it from the phrase to go haywire. Haywire refers to the wire that is used to tie up bales of hay. But haywire doesn't have anything to do with agriculture. It actually means to be out of control. For example, this weekend I had a party and I invited some friends. But then word got out, and then their friends invited their friends, and then their friends invited their friends. Before I knew it, the party had gone completely haywire. So, remember, this expression means to be out of control. But keep this expression under control by using haywire. Thank you.
Here we are again. Let's start words and facts with our collaborators, Anna-Priscila Magriñà, Marius Serra, Humberto González. Hello. How are you guys?
Hi. Happy to be here, to see you again, 3D.
Excellent. Well, today Anna-Priscila's section is going to come to an end, at least for this season. And she's told us that today she isn't going to be debunking just one myth. Is that right?
Yes, I'm not going to debunk just one myth. I'm going to debunk a lot of them. But guys, I will need your help because I've prepared a little test to see if through all this season you have learned something from my section or you hadn't been listening to me at all.
Ooh, I cannot wait for this.
Well, the thing is, it's gonna be an easy thing. For instance, here is an example. I'm gonna give you a statement and you have to say if it's true or false.
Okay.
Apes eat bananas. True or false?
I would say true, but I know it's probably going to be false, because if I say the sky is green, you say it's blue.
Yeah, I agree with him, so I say it's true.
Okay, Marcella?
True, no?
The answer would be false, but I have to say here it's half false because apes do eat bananas. But the thing is that they eat bananas because we give them the bananas. In their natural environment, they don't have bananas around.
What do they have?
Other fruits, and they even eat insects and leaves, other stuff, but usually bananas, they don't have
No bananas at Gibraltar.
I don't know, yeah, because there's people around, so I'm
Canary
guessing
Island.
there are bananas in Gibraltar.
Anyway, that sounds like fun. Our reporter Humberto González has also come up with some good stuff. He's been out in the street, and this time he has focused on fashion. Any particular reason for that, Humberto?
Well, Marcella, the fashion during the lockdown was pajamas or a tracksuit.
Right.
Y'all remember my 007 outfit during the quarantine?
Yes, of course. How could we forget?
But now summer is here, y'all, so I wanted to incorporate the quarantine fashion of phase 2 into the fashion of today. So I went to Bourne neighborhood and I turned it into a catwalk. Take a look.
Well, I'm so intrigued by this report. Whenever we mix clothes and Humberto, clothes tend to disappear. But we'll talk about that later, because now Marius is going to give us his guess word.
Yeah, I'll give you the last guess word of this season, but before we can remember the one, the last week one.
Exactly.
It was the most interrogative crime story. It was 9 letters in London and 8 in New York. It was a changeable word. The most interrogative crime story. You have all your time, take your time, and you'll have the answer afterwards, right?
I know it already, but...
Yeah, now it.
Can I answer tomorrow?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
will
we've
need more
got
time.
some very interesting stuff today. So let's get words and facts started with our viewers' favorite idioms. Marius, right?
Yeah, today we have a couple of very common idioms in English, but it's not easy to understand because they are not literal.
Okay.
But apart from that, we've finished with a very nice saying, so check it out.
My favourite idiom is to get cold feet, and it means that last minute you're afraid of doing something and you don't want to do it anymore and you just change your mind.
My favorite English idiom is drop me a line, which means write me a letter or text me. And I like it for 2 reasons. First, I really like the literal translation, how you can imagine the lines dropping on the paper. I think it's really poetic. And second is because every time I hear this idiom, it takes me directly to my childhood. I can remember the English classes at school where I learned it. I can see my friends, and even I can remember our English teacher, Tim, who I was secretly in love with.
My favorite English idiom is actions are louder than words. It goes for those people that promise a lot of things or speak too much and then afterwards they don't do anything. I don't like this type of behavior. What I prefer is to do things for others instead of empty talking.
Okay, thanks to Lucy, Liria, Teresa Hrushkova and also Angelica Dieget for these idioms. You still have 1 week to send us your favorite English expression. Well, Marius, we know that with common idioms, there's often, as they say, there is more than meets the eye, just to use another common idiom. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, we can start by our feet with this, to get cold feet. It has anything to do with feet. It means that you become disheartened. You lose your enthusiasm. It makes me think about a Catalan equivalent, tenir fred de peus, which are, but it means a rather different thing, because it means to get jealous, especially when you are a child and a new baby is born. For instance, a new brother, a new sister, and you get very cold.
There's some tension in there. It's like,
some tension at home.
Yeah.
Tenir fred de peus.
So it has a different meaning than the cold feet.
Absolutely. But there are lots of idioms taking our feet. Some of them are really literal. For instance, we could imagine a day in our life. For instance, we can start off on the right or the wrong feet.
Yeah.
In Catalan, on the right or the left. Llavors amb el peu esquerre. So it means that the wrong one is always the left, right? Okay. Then you can go to work on foot, which is quite literal and very healthy.
Yeah.
Right? You can put one foot in front of the other, which is more literal, but means that things are easier than sometimes we say. You just put one foot on the other, and then you can also drag your feet, which means you delay unnecessarily because you drag your feet. Fas el ronso in Catalan.
I do that a lot.
You do. In Catalan, we curl up. We curl up. In English, we just drag our feet. No? And then when you get finally, you get to work, maybe your boss asks you, why are you so late? And you can put your foot in your mouth.
Oh.
Which means you say something inconvenient.
Okay.
Do you do that?
In the United States, it's more, that might be probably how they say, how they refer to it in England, but to put your foot in your mouth, it's to say something that you shouldn't have said.
Yeah.
So if I wasn't supposed to have said that, then I put my foot in my mouth. But tacky, not so necessarily for us.
Oh, I see. But I mean, you just speak too much. It's a tactless commentary, right?
Or you can also say that you put your feet in it.
Yeah.
Both feet.
Both of them.
O posar els peus a la
Okay, you
galleda.
can also say you put your foot in it.
Ficar la pota.
Ficar la pota.
Put your
say,
feet in it.
No, I think it's just to put one foot. But if you put 2 feet, if you put both feet, that's
one
a lot.
foot. Okay,
literally.
To put your foot in it.
Yeah.
It's also a way to say that you just basically screwed, right?
Yes, you actually screwed. You actually said something you shouldn't have. Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes if you do that, you maybe will have one foot in the grave.
Oh.
because your boss is going to fire you, right? Maybe.
If your boss is very bossy.
Bossy, that's it. That's the idea.
Well, anyway, that might be a bit over the top. Now, get off on the wrong foot. Drag your feet. Put your foot in your mouth. Have you been able to identify with any of these expressions lately?
Well, I've said many things in my life that I shouldn't have said.
But lately?
Well, lately maybe it has happened to me a few times in life. You go to your friend, you haven't seen him for a while. How are things with your girlfriend? We just broke up. It's, okay, I didn't know that. But,
so you put your foot
in.
That was putting your foot in your mouth.
Yeah.
So I could probably form a sentence. I actually get off on the wrong foot whenever I drink because I then put my foot in my mouth, but I don't drag my feet. I try to correct it the very next day.
Whoa.
Oh,
impressive
nice.
sentence.
Yeah. And I would say, within the last probably 5 months or so, or 6 months, I probably have put my foot in my mouth.
What can you tell us about the other 2 expressions from the video, which are drop a line and actions speak louder than words?
Yeah,
These are more literal, right?
I could possibly say anything more than Teresa said about drop a line. With all that love story with his teacher. But I can say definitely an act for these actions speak louder than words. For instance, this cam here maybe is not insulting for us, but I dislike someone tell me, come
well,
here.
It depends. If they do it in a sexy way, like
in a sexy way.
Come here.
But in Asia, it's only for animals. Only for dogs. And definitely in Philippines, you could get arrested if you took someone and told
In Cuba,
gesture.
in Cuba, that's actually wrong also, because in Cuba that refers to you being a worm. A worm is a person that deflects the country and leaves. So if you're leaving the country and moving to the United States or to Europe, you're a worm, and you do that to somebody. So that's actually
Another one,
interesting.
very, very easily understood for us. This horn sign, this is a rocker. Rock you, okay. But in Latin countries, this means you are cheating
on someone.
Your partner. You are just putting the horns. So it sounds strange for us when we see some American people sometimes doing this in a very fond way.
Yeah,
what does it mean for you?
It's mostly a Texas thing, because if you go to the University of Texas, Texas Longhorn, then you do this. That's a sign for the university. But also in Italian, that if you do this, that means you're getting rid of the bad luck. You're getting, if somebody is trying to put bad luck on you, and you go like this to get rid of whatever somebody did. Or
this is negative for us. This is negative, but not. I remember Barbara Bush in the States doing that as a sign,
symbol,
as a positive sign. And it was
what is she doing?
Understood.
Yeah. She's from Texas.
From Texas.
Here you have it.
Okay, another one. This we all know this sign is okay.
Yeah.
This is quite a good thing. Not in Brazil.
What
in
does it
Brazil,
mean,
I don't know exactly what does it mean, but it's considered an insult. Maybe
Really?
I could imagine some holes or something.
I can imagine.
And it was famous when Nixon, I think, Nixon visited Rio de Janeiro, and he did that, and all the people started to boo him.
And he didn't know why.
And he didn't know why. What's that?
Understandably.
Yeah. And the last one.
Yeah.
This
peace.
The V. This victory. This is peace and love for hippie people.
Exactly.
Showing this the front part of your hand. But if you do this, which is the same, this is not positive at all. In fact, the origin of this sort of victory sign comes from medieval times, when archers cut their fingers when they were imprisoned.
Oh, gosh.
Right? So they showed that to show that they were victorious, that they haven't been in prison, so they could just do that. And not this one, but this one could be offensive.
In UK, they do this as an offense.
Of course, I'm not going to do the last one, which everybody can understand, right? I'm not going to do that.
Well, these actions actually speak louder than words. Now, let's see. Have you ever had any misunderstandings with these gestures or other ones in other cultures?
Well, it's not like a popular one, I think, but I studied in Stirling in Scotland, and my friends, they were really funny people, and one of them, she's like, Anna, do like this. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, I know that one.
This means legend, you're a legend.
No, it doesn't.
And it actually means you're a loser. And I was like, I'm a legend. And I was actually a loser. I still remember that. I still remember you guys making me do this.
That was a good trick. They played on you.
Yeah, and I ate it all. Yeah.
I didn't have any, because I remember when I was actually taking driver's class to learn how to drive. And I come from a Cuban family, so my whole family spoke with their hands. And the teacher was going like, hands on the wheel, Humberto, hands on the wheel. And she told me, you cannot speak with your hands for 2 weeks.
That's dangerous.
All right, well, it's time for Humberto's report. Humberto, in the teaser, we've seen that you got a number of people to pose for you.
I was actually trying to learn what their fashion was, and some of them gave me some of their fashion, but I actually tried to put in some of my fashion, because I had a great protective mask that looked like a lamp. So I actually remembered the Barcelona chair. Remember the Barcelona chair, the leather chair from Mies van der Rohe?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yes. So I decided to put some black leather pants and a little extension electrical cord as a belt.
Yeah.
And I went as a lamp.
Oh my God.
Yes. But
Nice.
one more thing that I asked people because of the summer was the fashion that we have in the United States called commando, going commando. Don't say it if you know it, but do you all know what that means?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes?
I
What
don't.
about Marius? Well, you're gonna find out right now. Let's look at the video. The quarantine has changed fashion as we know it, ladies and gentlemen. Look at me, I look like a lamp. And I'm wearing black because there's a lot more underneath here than there was before the quarantine. Let's take a look and see what everybody else is doing. You are growing fashion today. Tell me how you do it because I look like a lamp. Look at this, I even have a plug.
Was going skateboarding, and so I just put it the most comfortable thing I had.
You are like the most beautiful skateboarder I've ever seen.
During quarantine, it was pajama fashion.
And what about when you go out? What do you wear?
S&M kind of items, harness or belts.
Whips and chains?
Well, they changed. The whips, I keep them at home.
You know what, Danny? I think I'm going to change into my 70s outfit now. Darling, can I get your phone number?
Yes.
What is your favorite era of fashion? 60s, 70s, 80s, what?
I quite like the 20s.
Can we do the Charleston? You have a very fashionable mask.
I've been stuck on a yacht for 10 weeks, so I'm just wearing whatever I want right now. It's just kind of like playtime, whatever.
I tried to get full mask, like military face and like military mask.
Ooh, that sounds really sexy.
It's difficult to find it.
Now he's turning me on. I'm seeing you in a totally different view now. But you know, I have this right here, so I can actually like take a drink. It's warm in Barcelona, and you want to feel fresh. So, do you wear underwear when you go outside during the day?
I never wear underwear.
I agree. Sleeping nude is the best fashion ever.
All about freedom.
Usually sleep naked.
Can you tell our public what that is referred to in the United States?
Going commando is when you're not wearing underwear.
I think I'd like to see him in commando, wouldn't you?
Oh, yes. Why not? Although, to be fair, we can see him. He could be Commando 9.
Oh my God, let's see. Commando for everyone. Conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, we've learned a few things today, including commando, but I have decided to become a little bit of a lava lamp and be more fashionable.
Well, I think we all knew the naked truth of going commando would come up sooner or later.
Great pun, Marcella. And how did you guys like my my fashion on the lamp and the lava lamp and the?
I think you have a future in there.
Yes.
Yeah, go for
Very
it.
creative, very imaginative, and I especially liked your belt. Is it the same you're
It
wearing
is
today?
exactly the same belt. It's this one right here, and it
It's
actually
got a
has.
surprise, right?
Yes, and it has another function.
Wow!
In this function, actually, you can put your little can
I need one of those.
of Coca-Cola, beer,
Yeah,
whatever,
sure, Coca-Cola.
and then just drink it, and then you just put it back together, and that's it.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I like
And
it.
but wait, I have questions for you guys. What do you think of the commando?
Well, I prefer you as a lamp, like Lawrence of Arabia lamp.
Okay.
I love that. I don't feel like going commando.
So I'm not letting you leave the studio without hearing whether you've gone commando or not.
I'm a traditional lady.
No.
That would be the answer.
It's not hot enough over here for you to actually like try commando.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not gonna try it.
I hope I'm a traditional sir.
Yeah? Marcella?
Well, not yet, as far as I know. Anyway, Humberto, we've seen you so many different outfits during this video. Tell us which one is your favorite.
Well, the regular Humberto is Humberto with a ball cap, a baseball t-shirt, shorts, and sandals. But I really love wearing my belt buckles out at night.
Really nice one.
I love this one and the other one for the Papa Noel. But I really, really wanted to wear the Handmaid's Tales outfit to the supermarket. I wanted to do that so bad, but I was afraid of the police. I have trauma.
All right, and now it's time for Anna-Priscila's special myth debunking quiz. We're looking forward to it, Anna-Priscila.
Okay, guys, today I'm going to test you, so I don't know if you're ready.
Absolutely.
I hope so.
Love it.
Okay, you have a couple of signs nearby, properly disinfected, don't you worry. And I'm gonna read some sentences, and you simply have to say if you believe they are true or false. Okay. And Humberto, since you are a really nice person, you will keep the score of the game. Ooh. Okay, guys?
Okay.
I feel like teacher's pet.
You are my pet now.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So the first sentence, here it comes. In the novels, Sherlock Holmes says, "Elementary, my dear Watson." True or false? The answer is false. Okay. Arthur Conan Doyle actually never wrote this sentence in one of his novels. The closest thing we can find is in The Adventure of the Crooked Man, when Holmes explains something that he's deducted, and he says, "Excellent," I cried. "Elementary," said he. But this sentence is believed to be written for the first time around 1899 in a play about Sherlock Holmes.
Yes. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so Marcella and Marius.
They both get one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our judge.
Okay, second sentence. Zebras have stripes for camouflage. True or false? And the answer is false.
Oh my God.
They are mainly in the open grasslands all the time, so it doesn't really make sense for camouflage.
Yeah.
Scientists don't actually know for real what they are for, but they think that it might be for thermoregulation, so they are quite warm and fresh at the same time and cold at the same time. And it can also be because flies and other insects don't land on striped surfaces.
Oh, wow.
So zebras avoid possible infections.
About your stripes today.
Check it out. Check it out. I'm not gonna get insects nearby.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. This is an important one, guys. If a jellyfish stings you, urinating on it, on the wound, will help to ease your pain. True or false?
Could you repeat, please?
If a jellyfish stings you, urinating on the wound will help you ease the pain.
It must be true.
It's false.
Yay,
it can actually
be
worse. It can be like urinating on it. It can be just like scratching on it. And there's no magical cure for jellyfish because there's a lot of different jellyfish and their venom is different each time. What you have to do is just put some sea water on it, fold it with a blanket or with a towel you have around, and go straight to the doctor. Don't urinate on it, please.
My grandma used to make me urinate when I was a child on the floor when a bee had just bitten me.
Oh,
and she put all that thing
murky thingy on you. Okay.
Did it help?
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, I remember that, but it was very.
You wanted it to help, so you think it did help. Okay, guys. So, Marcella, you're ahead. Yeah. Let's see the next one. In Ian Fleming's novels, James Bond drinks vodka martini, shaken, not stirred. True or false?
Vodka and martini?
Oh, I think it's.
The answer is true. It's actually true.
Okay.
Well, James Bond
All right.
is normally associated with the vodka martini. In the novels, what he drinks the most is whiskey, especially whiskey and soda. So he drinks more whiskey than martini, but he drinks all the time.
I thought it
He
was
drinks, he
stirred.
drinks. Absolutely.
Okay,
Okay.
another one?
Another one.
All right.
Now you've recommended Frankenstein by Mary Shelley today. In the novel, Dr. Frankenstein's monster has a square forehead and also bolts on his neck. True or false? In the novel,
In the novel.
Mary
In the
Shelley,
novel, maybe.
Frankenstein. And you're all correct, my friends. It is
Finally.
actually false. The now famous features of the monster come from the cinema.
From the film.
Yeah, and the most famous one, or the first most famous one, is the one from Boris Karloff's in 1931.
Well, Anna-Priscila, I think we only have time for one more question.
The last one.
The last one.
That's it.
Okay,
These are
guys.
too much fun.
I'm loving it. Oysters used to be prison foods in America. True or false? Oysters.
It must be debunking, so false true.
Okay. And the answer, my friends, is false.
Oh my God.
Not oysters, but lobsters used to be prison food in America.
Oh my God.
Lobsters, my friends.
Okay,
Back when
well-
the first European settlers went to North America, they said that they were just so many lobsters piled up to feet high and wash in the asshole of Massachusetts Bay Colony. They had so many of them that they used
Right.
to call them the cockroaches of the sea.
Get
Cockroaches
out.
for lobsters.
No wonder that we have such a bad problem in our prisons. Everybody thought they were going to get oysters or
Lobster.
lobster.
Lobsters.
I don't think they serve lobster anymore, though. Humberto.
Okay, let's check the score and see how many right answers each of you.
Wait.
Well, I think we have
Did you
a
get that
clear
one?
winner.
We have a winner.
No, I
have
didn't
a-
get it right now.
Okay, so this is how it is. Nobody got it right, right?
This one, nobody get it. Yeah, this is
Okay.
how it
Okay.
ended.
Okay, so
so
we
right.
have a winner.
Congratulations,
So it is-
I'm the winner.
Marcella.
What does
any
Marcella
awards?
get?
The prize? What's
The
the prize?
prize for this amazing contest is our company. We had such a great time.
So we share that prize.
Yeah, we all share the prize. I'm sorry, we don't have anything better.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. You know, I enjoy your company very much.
The
Anyway.
winner takes it all.
The winner takes it all.
The winner takes your company, and the quiz brings us directly to another game, the Guess Word by Mario Serra. So, first, let's reveal the solution to last week's enigma.
Yeah, it was the most interrogative crime story. It was 9 letters in London and 8 in New York. Any ideas?
Who done it?
Who's done it? That's it.
Exactly.
It's a crime novel genre, in fact,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's who did it, who done it. But in the United Kingdom,
They have two
Matthew said no, it's with double N, and in America it's with only one.
Oh.
Yeah, 9 letters in London and only 8 in New York, United States, because in British English it's spelled differently with double N.
Yeah, that's it. But in fact, the word was coined in America. And it started in America with only one N. But
And
then
British people said,
British
"No,
people
we have
too."
to add something else.
I've seen it with 2 N's. You know, when you said that, I didn't know that it had 2 N's or 1 N. I've always seen it with 1 or 2 N's. I never
who
knew
done
that.
it?
Okay.
Who
Who
done
done
it?
it?
Okay, now let's hear the last guess word of the season.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I actually grown fond of changing number of letters, so the last one has 2 different numbers as well. A cavity considered as a unit of 4 and 5 letters. A cavity considered as a unit, 4 and 5 letters.
Give me time to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 words or 1 word, you said?
Only one word, but
Okay.
And that was the last guess word clue for this season. So try your luck with the Cracking the Enigma. You can find the guess word on our social media profiles as usual. There you can share it and of course post your solution. Okay, well, Anna-Priscila, thank you
was
for
a
coming
pleasure.
today.
Thank you.
I hope you have a great summer.
Thank you. I will. Thank you.
Right. And Marius and Humberto, I'll see you next week.
Yep.
Yeah?
Okay, see ya.
Okay. Well, tune in next Saturday at 5 p.m. for the Weekly Mag's last episode of the season. We'll be having more facts, tips, videos, and much more. Until then, you can check our website and follow us online. Have a great week. Bye-bye.